So I think we got quite a bit done last week. I mean, we got the motorcycle tore down to the frame and the motor. This week, we're gonna pull the frame off the motor. We're also gonna do some fabrication work. We're gonna fabricate some aluminum mounts for these mid mounts back here, because right now they're rubber mounted. And what that'll do is it'll stiffen up the chassis a bit. And we are also going to repair this steering stop that's up here. That was damaged in my high side. We're also going to talk a little bit about racing and how you don't have to be the fastest guy on the track. And you don't have to be all that fast at all to go ahead and race. I know guys out there that race and have a lot of fun, even if they're not fast. So stick around, let's see how much we can get done. I think it's coming along just fine. Now some of you may be saying, Chad, I'm not very fast, but I want to race. You don't have to be the fastest guy out there on the track to race. I mean, if you go out there, you come off the starting line, and you fall back clear to last place, well, guess what? You're racing. You're racing for that next position up. 8 guys are on the line, you take off, you fall back to 8th place, you're racing for 7th place. Racing is racing, and I have had some of the most fun races battling for a position that I wasn't even going to get a podium for. But it was still fun. It's always trying to beat that guy ahead of you. So that's my take on it. You don't have to be fast to race. You just gotta strive to be better today than what you were yesterday, and to make improvements, you know, on your weaknesses. So that's my take. So you can see the motor mounts that I put in right here and right there. This is looking at the back, and I have small air gap there between the motor and the frame, if you can see it. And I also have a small air gap there between the motor and the frame. I would prefer the motor to go over to the left just a little bit more. And these brackets are a little tight right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shave a little bit off of this one. And that should bring me in exactly where I want to be. Now I opted to go with the steel route for the motor mounts rather than running aluminum. And this is where I placed them. Previously I shown where it was spaced out, and we had corrected that. Well, these are the rubber ones that we're replacing. And they actually slid in here like this, and one come in here like from underneath. Now making these more solid should go ahead and help our handling somewhat. Now I went the steel route instead of the aluminum just because it was going to be easier. Whether it's going to be easier in the long run, I don't know. Who knows? We might have to take those back out. For now, I'm going to run them. I mean, they're on there. It was taking too long with the air grinder. This all would have been a lot easier if I didn't crash. So I've been working on this steering stop for a little bit, and this is what I came up with, was this block of steel. It's pretty beefy, kind of heavy. I'm not real thrilled to use it. The idea is weld this on here like this. But the more I think about it, I don't want to weld this on to my steering stem, and getting this race out of here, that bearing race, is next to impossible. My next option is to put some bumpers on the frame over here to allow the forks to bump up against it. I was thinking of using some neoprene seat material and using that for a stop. So before I go any further on this, I got to kind of think about it. I'm leaving today to go to the racetrack, so I'll have some footage of that at the track. But so far we've gotten the rear motor mounts done, the mid mounts, and this steering stop we've got knocked off there. I'm just leery of welding that on there. I have to just think about it, and I might be overthinking it too. Yesterday I went to the track, dropped off my suspension to TSE, had a little chat to them about what was going on with the rear end. Always feeling like it was wanting to slide out. It just the front end was always planted. I mean, I never doubted the front end at all. It was the rear end that always felt like it was ready to give. Could have been a multitude of things. Too stiff a spring, the rebound might have been set too stiff. Tire wear to me looked just fine. The other thing I did was I picked up my leathers, and I had some really good fun with some friends. Watching races, helping them go out, watching some of the fast guys actually go around the track. It's pretty much all we did this week. Was a little bit of framework. That steering stop on the front, I'm still undecided about what we're going to do with that. I need to decide pretty quick because I want to paint the frame, and it needs to go out and be sandblasted. I have a mess on the bench that needs to be cleaned up. I need to pick some things up. I have stuff just scattered everywhere. I don't know, for some reason that's the way I work. I work really diligently, have stuff spread all over, then I'll take a day and pick up. I need to be better about putting things away while I'm working. This week I came upon a problem with the race van. It doesn't want to start, so that's kind of a problem. I'm thinking it's the fuel pump, but we'll dig more into it and see what's actually wrong. I'm going to let it sit in the shop for a few days, let it dry out. It had been raining. I've also read somewhere that sometimes a cracked distributor, if it's humid out, damp, wet, that sometimes they don't want to start. So we'll see what's going on. So if you like what you've seen, go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.